Welcome back to Power Word Crit, everybody. My name is Corin, and I am your dungeon master for today. With me are 4 clever participants. They are...
Kayla with Celestine.
Ander with Wesley.
I'm Ashlyn, and I'm playing Izzy.
I'm David, and I'm playing Lord Usaker von Pride.
And you guys did not die by cow.
Thank
Hooray.
goodness.
That would just have been a little embarrassing.
How'd you die? Cow.
Them
Well,
dang cows.
I imagine it's not as embarrassing as you think. I'll bet a lot more people have died from cows than wolves or bears combined.
But you'll never find anyone admitting it.
For a
They
number
are
of
dead,
reasons.
of course.
Hmm?
They are dead, of course. They couldn't admit to it.
Afterlives have people and you can still talk there.
Touche.
You're talking to the
does
cleric.
Usaker believe
this,
in the
This
afterlife?
is very much in fiction.
I do believe in the afterlife,
Somewhere.
just as I believe in the gods.
Mm. Right.
Well, that being said, speaking of the afterlife, let's do a recap.
that's speaking of the afterlife?
Yes, it is,
Okay.
because it is in the past and gone.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It
okay.
is
I was a little
after our
concerned.
We
lives.
have moved on.
I was concerned for our next episode.
Well, you should still be concerned. So, last time, on the road from Green Nest, you guys encountered some cows, started a stampede, and managed to set fire to the dry grass, all in a matter of seconds. Later that night, after the cow debacle was fixed, Celestina asked Usaker why he disliked the gods, and we learned that a rumor in his family is that his bloodline is cursed to die early due to angering a god. Izzy, while on watch, encountered herself. And in the morning, Usaker, noticing her distress, decided to help her look around to see if anybody had posed as her as the night before. But while searching for the footprints, suddenly he felt like death warmed over. Wesley was able to see a blue light in his heart before it disappeared, and Celestine was able to deduce that this was some sort of magic reaction that is common for some types of magic, including curses. Wesley then communed with a crow, assuming it to be the Great Spirit, before a great and powerful storm prevented them from making any headway to Berdusk. Izzy then learned that she could hear the wind and the storm speaking, or rather, feel the rain and storm speaking. And that is where we ended our session. So, as night falls, the rain starts to dissipate. What do you guys do? Your horses are drenched as well.
Oh, the poor things.
What is the environment in which we find ourselves?
Muddy.
Very, very muddy. The tree line is about a couple hours behind you guys, and it's just open.
Oh, so there's literally no place to hide from the rain.
No,
We
you guys
should-
were
Yeah,
in
we hunkered down on the road.
Yeah, you
There's
guys
nothing
were
else.
in the carriage pretty much the whole time.
Oh, that's true. We have a carriage.
We should try and cover the horses, find tarps, blankets, things like that, so that they are not
No, it's
completely
next
soaked
morning,
and
right?
chilled. She said it's night's falling, right?
Night's falling.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Night's falling. My bad.
So are we going to keep traveling in the night, or are we going to make
No.
camp?
Make camp.
If we travel
What I
at
prefer.
night, I think that our horses will die and we will all be stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So, camp.
We make camp,
Mhm.
making sure to take special care of the horses.
All right.
Is this an animal handling check? I'm terrible at these, but somebody in the party might be good.
I think the horses would be fine. They just want to be near some warmth. Throw a blanket over them, they're fine.
Pat them down dry.
Yeah.
With the extra blankets that we were totally
If Usaker
given.
wants to do an animal handling check, we could definitely try that.
I wasn't suggesting myself, as I in fact said, I'm not actually good at these, but somebody in the party might be better than me.
The horses survived cows with you guys. I think they trust you.
I named this one New Blackie.
Oh my gosh. Do you have an old blackie?
Yes, the horse that we rode when we were going to save the sanctuary of Shantea.
Oh, yeah.
We named
Yeah.
one of them Blackie. Or at least Izzy did.
Okay. Are you naming the other horse? Or is it nameless for now?
Does it not have a name when we received it?
Did
Nope.
you ask for the name?
You guys never asked?
I assume
We're just
someone
giving them new
told
names.
us.
It's alright. No, Meg, I still love you. Pat, pat.
Okay, we're calling them New Blackie and Nutmeg.
Yes.
New Blackie and Nutmeg, got it. So, you guys set up a fire. The horses have been dried off a little bit. They shake their manes and put some blankets on them. You guys had some extra blankets.
It has quit raining now, right?
It is quit raining, yeah. So, do you have prestidigitation or anything?
I believe I do. Yes.
So, I think you can, with prestidigitation, you can make the ground a little bit dry, can't you?
Power word blow dry.
That's our new campaign name.
Chill, warmer flavor. Make a color, small spark. Non-magical trinket.
It can
Instantaneous
clean.
highly energy.
If it can clean, it can dry.
Did I say clean?
Clean the grass.
We'll say this is a very loose interpretation of prestidigitation. You're able to create a little
cleaner
section.
soil.
Yeah.
I can certainly do that, and then I'm going to cast create bonfire because I can do that.
Ooh,
Perfect.
Yes.
Sounds good.
That is our
my tinder box. Like throw it out. Just kidding.
So, what are you guys doing?
Taking watch.
Yeah.
Okay, who's first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
13.
Oh, much better than the previous night.
I'm not writing in my notebook.
Okay.
That probably helps.
As you're on watch, you do hear those pigeon-like sounds again. Off in the distance. They don't seem to be close.
The fact that we've heard them 3 nights in a row is interesting.
They're trailing us.
Mm-hmm. That's what it seems like.
They're an indigenous species. They are common around here.
Wesley, are they common around here?
Possibly.
So in this area, the answer is they have been seen, but it's like bears.
Okay, so...
So
So, like,
yes.
it's probably few, and that they are maybe not the apex predator, but certainly a higher
Right.
one, and so there will be fewer in number.
right. You're more likely to see a bear than an owl bear, but
Mhm.
they exist. It's been known around this area.
Okay, cool. So, odd.
Yeah, so you hear them off in the distance. You hear some tweets. As the sun went down, you hear just like the dying of the birds.
Okay.
Not the birds dying, but the dying of the bird sounds.
Dying
Those are
down.
two very
of bird
different
sounds.
things.
Yeah. A snake comes right up to you.
Does it have a bird in its mouth?
Oh.
It has a lump in its stomach.
Oh.
3 of them.
It comes up to you, kind of looks at you, and then just slithers away.
Okay.
Nothing really happens on your watch.
Okay, then. I pass the watch off to...
Ooh, pick me, pick me.
Wesley!
All right, Wesley, go ahead and make a perception check, please.
That's pretty good. We're looking at a 17 plus 1. 18 total.
Perfect. So as you go to sit down, you sit down on a log that you guys had placed. And it wasn't the same one that Celestine sat on. But you notice right before you sit down that you recognize the plant that it's up against. And this is D&D version of poison ivy.
Oh.
Had you sat down, you would have taken some poison damage.
Oh.
Oh.
So you notice that right off the bat.
Well, we're gonna scoop my log a little ways away. I really don't want to stumble upon this in the middle of the night. That's not gonna be fun for traveling.
Yeah. You do notice that around the area there's more clumps of this poisonous plant, but there's nothing inside the campsite, just on the outside. You did a very good job of clearing it. As the night continues, you hear those pigeon sounds again. They're very, very far. I mean, there's no trees, there's nothing. You can't see them, but you can hear them. Go ahead and make a... This might be do either
Nature?
nature
or animal handling. One or the other.
I'm not actively trying to handle an animal.
So
I
the
wouldn't-
nature.
Yeah. I'm gonna be 7. I spend most of my time in cities or on the road. Not really in the nature.
Yeah, these pigeon bears, they're here. You don't really know what's going on. And that being said, nothing exciting happens. Who takes third watch?
Izzy will.
Okay. Izzy, make a perception.
Much better than the previous night. That is 15.
Ooh, nice.
15.
Yes, a lot better than the other night.
Much better than my 2.
Yep.
Izzy has learned her lesson from the previous night and is not drawing sketches of jewelry designs.
So Izzy, again, you hear those pigeon bear things. They seem to be making their brrr all throughout the night.
This seems really important, guys. I don't know why.
The werewolves, they're following us.
Yes, the werewolves are following.
I
Are we
had
their
forgotten
moon?
that's what you thought they were.
As
Oh yeah. I
as
forgot.
you're listening to these sounds, they don't seem to be getting any closer, but not necessarily further away either. You can't see them.
Are they circling us?
You hear some rustling inside the carriage.
Inside the carriage.
Inside?
Inside the carriage.
Sarker, are you sleeping inside the carriage? Or are you sleeping
It's
outside
not
like all us
impossible.
normal people? I mean, obviously Corin believes that we're all outside by the fire like normal people.
Is there space inside the carriage to sleep?
For one person, yeah.
If nobody else
right
took
next
it,
to a dead body.
then
Oh, that's true.
You
You
can
know
sleep
what?
on the dead body.
I laid, since nobody else was willing to do it and it doesn't bother me, Lord
Oh my
Usarker
gosh.
laid out his cot and his bedroll on top of the body since it
my
was a
word.
nice, flat, and dry location.
That's
All
extremely
right.
logical.
Everyone
it makes lots of
else
sense.
here is in the mud.
Okay.
Yup.
Out of game, Kayla, I'm so glad you cast Gentle Repose. Oh my god.
Me too. Me too.
So, that being said, Usarker, you know Usarker's in there, but you hear, the soft snoring of Usarker, but there's a different sound. It's much smaller, and it sounds like something's rustling in a bag.
Okay, I'm going to take out my scimitar, or one of them, and approach the carriage and see what's making that sound inside.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. With disadvantage because it's dark in there.
Of course. Disadvantage. Investigation 15.
Oh, wow.
I know, I rolled a 13 and a 16.
So, as you're searching through, you look in there, you of course you see the lump that is Usarker on top of the coffin.
Izzy's not going to make a comment on that.
So if you're looking in the back, so you're looking through the back up to the front, you notice off to the right side, about halfway down Usarker's body, where Usarker's body is, on the right side, in one of the bags, the bag is shuffling.
I'm going to poke the bag with my scimitar. Poke it harder.
Do I wake up to the meh meh noise?
I would say, yeah, you would wake up to something like that.
Keep poking at it.
Isidore, what is making that noise?
It's a
I don't
squeak
know. It's not coming out of the bag. I keep poking at it.
Perhaps get some fire. I can't see much out here right now. I
Okay.
am going to get out of my sleeping bag so that I do not die miserably tied up in a sleeping bag.
Okay.
I guess I am going to go back to the fire and
Grab
grab
a branch.
a branch that is still kind of aflame. I mean, I figure most of the fire has died out by now. It's the third watch, but see what I can find to provide some light. Go back to the caravan and use the scimitar to
Poke it again.
poke it again and see if I can flip open the top or something.
What kind of an animal does it sound like?
Sounds feline.
Okay.
You should open the bag.
Go ahead and make a dex check.
Oh, jeez.
If you are maimed by a cat,
It's alright, you're probably next.
if the cat gets
Dex
through
check or
her
dex
and
save?
comes for me,
This is a straight dex check,
Not acrobatics?
not acrobatics.
Okay.
You're
just
not
making
you're not
sure.
somersaulting your way over to the bag.
Just making sure. Okay, that's a 9.
So you put your scimitar towards the bag and you're trying to get the flap open. You can't get it. It opens and it shuts and it just isn't working. And after a couple
My
seconds,
hands were made for making jewelry, not for opening bags with my sword.
at
And
this
after a
point,
couple
I'm just
seconds-
going to sit down on one of the barrels or something and watch this happen.
this isn't working. But after a couple seconds, you hear "Meow," and then you hear
What's in that bag? what's supposed to be in the bag.
Whose bag was that?
There's some rations in there.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, you know what? Fine. I am going to grab the back end of the bag and flop it. Do that flip that you do in order to shake the dust out of
A rug or something.
A rug or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'll have my scimitar ready to stab it if it's going to attack us.
Okay,
He's
you
gonna
do
attack
that,
you.
and a tiny cat goes flying
Oh,
to
no.
the front of the carriage.
Oh, no.
Problem solved. It's a cat.
What is a cat doing here?
And you hear ding, 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 ding as it hits the front of the carriage and drops down, of course, on its feet. And
Of
it
course.
glares at you, goes, and then starts cleaning itself.
I point to Izzy and say she did it. And then I'm going to start picking up the rations.
Because the cat's going to understand that.
Well, the cat cocks its head and then plods on over to you and starts nuzzling your leg.
What kind of a cat does it look like?
This is
Describe
Whiskers.
This fluffy cat.
This is
Huzzah.
100% Whiskers with the little bell and everything. Whiskers
This
somehow
is a
got into your
ginger
guys'
cat with
bag
a little bell.
and
Even
none of
though
you
Whiskers
checked.
had a new
Is
home.
Whiskers? I thought Whiskers was a big cat. Is this a big cat or a small cat?
Whiskers was an adult-sized
Okay,
cat.
an adult-sized cat. Okay.
But no Maine
But
Coon.
it's not like, it's
not
not like a
Maine Coon.
25-pound Maine Coon.
Yeah.
I
Ouch.
give the cat some scritches and say, you have gotten very, very lost and are going to be eaten by a goblin. But, hi.
Or those werewolf pigeon bears.
It's done pretty well so far, to be honest.
Yep, so it's still, Whiskers, she still has the bell on.
Somewhere there is a small child who is very sad.
Oh, that's true. We give it to
Yes,
a
that's
child.
what I've been saying.
Aw.
This cat is nuzzling up against Usarker's leg, and then it nuzzles up against the coffin and just kind of looks at it and goes, meow.
Aw.
So Izzy hasn't actually made the connection yet that this is Whiskers. So as soon as she does, she's going to say, "Oh, you poor thing. How'd you get here? Let me get you some water." And so she'll get out some of her rations, find like a little bowl or something, and pour some of her water in it and offer it to Whiskers.
Okay. As Whiskers plods its way over to the water, you can now see from the light of the campfire, this is definitely Whiskers. Same bell, same everything.
How in the world did you get your... How did you survive that cow encounter?
Meow?
It's a really
Probably by
good thing.
staying in a bag.
It's a
3
really
days
good
later.
thing. We kept the made sure the wagon stayed safe.
Maybe this was Timora. She brought
Mhm.
Whiskers to us.
There's definitely
Meow?
a lot of luck
Either
involved.
that or Whiskers is really a animal spirit who is here to guide us and to like be our spirit guardian or something.
Whiskers will lead us to the dragon cultists.
It's also possible we're all incredibly blind and haven't noticed a cat for 3 days.
That could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
It sleeps for 20 hours a day. There's no reason you would have been able to find this cat.
All right,
blame
so how much
Usarker.
of our
Usarker's
rations
been
did
in the back.
Whiskers eat?
Yeah.
So this is actually one of the ration bags that was given by Green Nest.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of extra. There was like a little bit of jerky in there, and it looks like Whiskers has been in this bag the whole time
Okay.
and has just been slowly
So Whiskers
gnawing on
hasn't
some
been
stuff.
starving,
No.
but she's probably been
So
very
some
thirsty.
of the rations are eaten. The rest of them have cat poop.
Yes, the rest of them. If you look through, you may find some kitty poo.
This is her bag.
All right. I am going to spend the rest of my watch cleaning out the bag and making it more hospitable for our new pet.
Meow. After a while of all of this happening, she kind of sniffs around the area, but she doesn't really travel far. She seems to know that, like, hey, I'm traveling with you guys. I'm not going off in the middle of nowhere.
She knows there's goblins out there.
She knows there's goblins.
Oh my gosh, we're going to train her into be like an adventurer cat.
She
You
can
know
take
how
watch.
like have house cats?
Mhm.
She's going to be an adventurer cat. She's not going to stray too far away from the party.
Yes.
And she can take watch all by
She
herself.
knows never to separate the party. So after everyone falls asleep and Whiskers just kind of stays with you, does cute things, goes on her back, the cute stuff that all cats
I do
do.
not touch her belly.
She makes some biscuits on your leg.
Ow. It's so cute, but ow.
She eventually walks back over to the carriage, jumps into the carriage, hops up on top of Usarker's chest, and settles down for the night.
Does Usarker push Whiskers off?
I do not.
Okay. Okay.
The cat has good taste. It knows a dry and comfortable space as well as I do.
I mean, I could set up a bed for it that's not on top of you.
And then spends the next 4 hours cleaning herself. No, I'm just kidding.
If the cat is unruly, then I will remove it. And it
She
will
just
learn
falls
not
asleep
to
on
be
you.
unruly.
She just falls asleep on you.
Mm-hmm. No, Isidore, I'm okay with the cat. I'm not fond of the idea of trying to protect and take care of it, but there were a great many cats in our house growing up. Which is good, because if you don't have cats, then you will have a great many rats in the city of Baldur's Gate.
Never really had that issue in El Terrell.
I imagined that rats were ubiquitous. Perhaps I was wrong.
I mean, we did have like a small little terrier hound. He was cute.
That would help.
As night turns into day, nothing else happens. And you guys are ready to begin your journey once again.
So as morning approaches, and Wesley and Celestine wake up, hey guys, look, we have a new party member.
Oh.
Whiskers?
It's
How
called
did you get here?
it's called a stowaway traditionally, but yes.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
I think it's more appropriate to say that Whiskers feels a certain connection to our dead friend, Kurt.
that's probably true.
She seems awfully connected to you now, Usarker.
I have been sleeping near Kurt.
Well,
I'm
okay,
sure that must be
that's-
it. Never
I
mind
sure-
the fact he's in a coffin.
I shrug.
The more the merrier, I guess.
Well, we are down one bag of rations, so maybe.
Uh,
Man, cat food's expensive. We'll just do rations. Rations are also a little...
We'll have to train Whiskers to hunt for her own food in the wild.
There we go.
You look in the carriage and there's like a half-dead rat.
Okay, cool. We're good.
somehow I don't think she'll be fine.
Where'd you even find that rat? Just kidding.
I don't know
Feel
if we
that.
want to
She's a
know.
cat. Where do cats find anything?
She found it in the sewer that we walked through back in. I'm just kidding.
And she brought with
She brought a snack. That being said, you guys pack everything up and you begin your journey again.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping the same seating arrangement, or are we mixing it up this time?
If someone wants to drive the horses, let me
Wesley
know.
will take a turn on the horses.
Cool. I'll take a turn in the back.
All right.
Do you want to sit up front, Usarker, or are you fine in the carriage?
How am I feeling this fine morning? Am I haunted by some ghost still?
You're feeling a little sore from sleeping on a coffin, but beyond that, you're fine.
More sore than I would from sleeping on the rocks and mud outside?
No,
Okay, just checking.
it's a hard surface.
Soreness is guaranteed in any of these cases, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right, Celestine, please roll for an encounter.
Don't roll cows.
8.
Okay. You guys continue on your trek. It's a little damp because it rained quite a bit yesterday, but it's doable. You guys can make the trek without any sort of issues. Every once in a while, the horse will stumble into like a mud puddle, but that's about it. Izzy, where are you?
So, Usarker never really answered the question of whether or not he was actually sitting at the front of the carriage or still inside the carriage.
I think that throughout the day I would change locations, but I spend an awful lot of time kind of just staring backwards, admiring the vast expanse of Faerun's plains.
Okay, so he's in the carriage and I'm sitting up front next to Wesley.
Okay. As you guys are continuing on, every hour or so, Izzy, what would you be doing during this?
Mainly just looking at the wilderness around us and
Wesley is telling
Chatting with
stories and singing songs and various things. So imagine probably swapping things and stories and such things.
right.
Okay.
Just doing idle chatter, getting to know each other a little bit better.
So as you guys are swapping stories and stuff, every 30 or 40 minutes, out of the corner of your eye, you think you see somebody like waving at you, and you turn and look, but there's nobody there.
Hey, Wesley, do you ever get the sensation that you can see something that isn't there?
I see illusions all the time, but that's usually because they spontaneously happen around me.
Because you caused them?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was a thing that
that
happened
makes
more
sense.
often when I was learning magic. I've got a better control on it now.
You have a history of it. Perhaps you are a medium. Someone who can see the dead.
I was going to say, I mean, I
Not you, her.
Because I'm seeing the spirits. No, this has never happened before. That's really strange.
Did you just see something now?
Yes, and it's like the 5th time that's happened.
And as you say this, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck kind of prickle, and you feel like somebody is standing right behind you.
I quickly look behind me.
There's nothing there. Except Celestine and Uzarker.
Is there something you needed, Isidore?
No, I think I'm okay.
You don't look okay.
I think I'm having the same hallucinations as the other night.
Do you think, Celestine, that maybe she's sick?
We have been haunted, perhaps. You say you
It's
saw
possible.
something from me, some spirit attacking me, perhaps, or the like. It is entirely possible that we will have to turn to our resident expert on the supernatural for aid. Or I could concoct perhaps some sort of remedy when we reach Berdusk. There are some drugs and medications which are helpful for psychoses.
So maybe I'll prepare protection from evil and good tomorrow morning. But for now, we're going to do detect magic and see if that gets anything. And if not, then I'll just give her a blessing.
So Wesley lights up like a Christmas tree, but again, you see those bands around his wrists and his neck,
Okay.
but there's nothing
Which
actually
are not
there.
physically there. Right?
They're not physically there, no.
Okay, I didn't know if...
They're bands of like a reddish, whitish color.
Okay, cool.
Seem to be swirling a little bit.
Okay.
But nothing on Izzy, nothing on Usarker, nothing on you, nothing in the surrounding area.
If I keep it up for 10 minutes, does the thing happen again to Izzy?
So, Izzy, it happens one more time.
So when
And
I
you see
notice
you
it,
see it off to your right.
when I notice it, I'm gonna see how long I can, keep eye contact, as opposed to just immediately turning away. See if I can focus on it.
So every time you look at it, it disappears.
Oh, okay.
So you
like,
just see it out of the corner
pointedly
of your eye.
not looking at it, but
Yeah.
like paying attention.
Okay, so I am going to be looking at it out of the corner of my eye.
So as you do that, you just out of the corner of your eye, it's like somebody's waving at you, trying to get your attention, and then the carriage continues on, and the person does not follow. You do not see any magic.
Well, whatever it is, it's not any sort of, I guess, regular magic.
Maybe Kurt's trying to tell me something from the afterlife, and he's sending these spirits to try and give me a message? I don't know.
Does your detect magic see the presence of spectral beings?
That would probably be see invisibility.
You have like a divine sense or something like that, maybe? Or is that's
It
powerful?
does
Probably
not
not.
say
I
anything.
did
It just
forget-
says magic. It doesn't say anything
Okay.
about beings.
I did forget one thing. You do see one little flick of magic that's on Whisker's bell. Just teeny, teeny, tiny bit of magic.
What
on
kind
the
of
bell.
magic is that one?
So Whisker's bell, looking on the list of magic, you see hints, just very, very tiny amounts of abjuration, a teeny tiny bit of divination,
Oh.
enchantment,
Mm-hmm.
evocation,
It's got the whole shebang.
and transmutation.
Okay, it doesn't have... Wait, it doesn't have enchanting?
It does.
It does.
has
Okay, so it's got basically
It doesn't
everything.
have conjuration.
That's what it is.
So those are the schools of magic that you see on it, but it's just so faint on this bell. It was either made a long time ago or by somebody who maybe didn't know what they were doing, or the magic's faded, or it never really was there to begin with. It's just a tiny bit of magic.
Okay. I'm going to tell the party that I don't see anything within 30 feet of us. And although I'll make a note to talk to Wesley later, just to make sure he's aware that he's got magical bands. It kind of seems like a little private, so I'll, medical diagnosis type of thing. You talk to the patient by themselves.
Oh, did you want the schools of what's on his bands?
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so you on his bands, abjuration,
Okay.
conjuration,
Ooh, okay.
enchantment,
Mm-hmm.
and necromancy.
And necromancy.
which is the study of life in general, because it's positive and negative
The manipulation
That's
of
true.
life forces,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Manipulation of
true.
life force.
So healing is also. that's
And
true.
there would also be illusion on here.
I mean, that one kind of makes sense because he seems to also have affinity for illusion, as he stated earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll make a note to talk to Wesley about that later in private.
Or just, we can't see them. Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
true.
invisible.
And then I'm going to comment on the fact that Whiskers apparently has a charmed bell, and I'm
Oh,
going to
really?
pick Whiskers up and pet her so she doesn't freak out too much and kind of look at the bell and the,
Here,
the
Izzy,
collar.
hold this. Here's the
Okay, we'll
reins.
stop focusing
Oh,
on
no.
the situation that I'm
Chris-
freaking out about.
But it's like, ooh.
Because this is something that I can see. Is like it's shiny, and this is
It's
a
true.
bell, and
We can
on
actually
your
do
things.
something with this.
Izzy's going to take the reins and just keep her eyes peeled, the corner of her eyes peeled.
Usarker is going to come up and sit next to Isidore because he sees that she is still traumatized and he's not going to be any use in identifying a magical item. So he's going to let the magical people handle that. And I'm going to just sit and talk with Isidore and, kind of just chat because I don't know that we have any solid answers yet and we don't have the facilities in order to hear you yet.
Don't worry.
It's a
Bless is
lovely
coming.
day today, isn't it, Usarker?
Yes, it is. Very much so indeed. I'm hoping that we can get to Berdusk with all haste, but that is what it is. So how long exactly have you been experiencing hallucinations or possibly extrasensory perception?
3 days ago.
And nothing at all before that? You haven't been haunted nor visited by...
Positively not.
And what did you say they look like?
Well, sometimes it looked exactly like me. I can't really tell with these ones. They're too much out of my line of sight, and we moved past them too quickly for me to identify what they look like.
I'm looking at the horses. We're just following a path, and the horses are going to follow the path, right?
Yes.
If you'd like, I have done a study of the eyeball. I'm not entirely sure if Genasi eyes are the same as human, elven, and dwarven, but if you'd like, I could at least do an examination. It could be that you have some sort of ocular variance or the like,
Let's do that when we stop for the night.
if you insist.
I feel
Eyes
bad that
will-
we've already lost a day from the rainstorm yesterday.
Are you
That's-
looking at him while you're talking to him?
Well, I'm keeping my eyes on the road because I'm driving now.
Okay.
So I'm really looking straight ahead. But
Okay.
I have my head kind of tilted in his directions, but my eyes are still facing. Keep your eyes on the road, kids.
Okay.
Even if the horse knows where they're going, because there's
Right.
only one route.
Who knows when a herd of cows will randomly appear again?
It's true.
It's true. They can sneak up on you.
So,
Yes, they drop from the sky.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding.
by the god Dum.
Yes, that great god.
It used to be something that could happen in Baldur's Gate if you played a wild magic sorcerer.
Oh boy.
True thing.
Inside the carriage,
Yeah. So
You're like, ooh, magic item. Let me see.
Wesley is very interested about this. He likes magical things. It's something that is a part of him in having naturally occurring magic in him, and so he feels an kinship with that and is suddenly very interested in that. So he's going to try and discern more details about this bell. I would like to investigate that with my Arcana skill.
go ahead and roll.
Going to be a 14.
It could be enchanted. It could be, again, it could have been just some kid testing out spells on a bell, and it just has some residue effect. It could have been very old magic. Not entirely sure. Just looks like a bell.
Interesting.
Okay.
Maybe get someone to identify it at Berdusk.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get off the cat.
Or we
But
just
in any
take the
case,
cat.
That might be
Hey,
easier.
would
I
you
mean,
like
you
to
could,
identify
you could
this?
just try and you can take it
That's
off
a
the
cat,
cat
sir.
now if you want,
No, I'll leave it in
and
the
just
cat.
like hold it, and you don't have to bring the cat with you. You could just take the bell with you, right?
If the cat lets us, yes. And
I'm
then you have
sure
to get
there's-
back on the
I'm
cat.
sure there's no chance whatsoever that the bell is preventing the cat from performing a transformation.
Nah.
That would be all kinds of interesting. Could also be like a protection
Mm-hmm.
token or something for the cat. And in which case, in a dangerous environment like we are on the road, then it seems like a good idea to let Whiskers, as you called her, keep her charm.
I turned to Izzy, and I asked her if she would like a blessing from Tempest.
Sure. What does that entail? Do I have to stop driving the horses?
I was like, oh, no. I just
probably
do
should-
say a prayer to
yeah.
Tempest, and that's basically all. It's really simple.
Sure, I'll take any prayers you can give me.
So we'll say a prayer and prayer/chant. Then I take the holy water and I spritz a little on your face, and that's it. So technically now, according to the words of Bless, you for the next minute, when you make an attack roll or a saving throw, you can roll an extra d4.
Well, that's a good thing, because the moment she
Oh no, are
puts
you
the
serious?
water on your face, you hear, "Stop!" And you look in front of you, and there is you standing in front of the horses. I need you to make an animal handling check.
Oh, man. That's
How
that's
very
an ability
opportune.
check, not a saving throw, and Bless doesn't work on that, right?
Actually, you know what? This would be some sort of saving throw.
Dex?
Yeah, this would be a dex saving throw.
Okay. So add a d4.
Or would it be strength? Trying to stop the
It
horses.
depends on how she goes about it.
It would require a minimum strength check it would require a minimum strength score in order to operate the horses at all.
True.
True.
Operating
So-
the horses correctly would be more of a dex-based thing.
I will let you choose strength or dex depending on what you want to do. Do you want to forcefully pull it back, or do you just want to halt them?
We'll try to forcefully pull them back, even though that's not my strong suit.
Okay, that'll be a strength.
With the Bless, that is a total of 18.
Yay!
Okay, you manage to yank on these reins as hard as you can, and the horses freak out a little bit because they were fine. And the moment that they stop, you see yourself go through the muzzle of the horses and dissipate.
Did you
Balls,
see that?
teeth.
Did you see that?
How many of us have fallen-
What are you
Oh,
doing?
no.
What happened?
Did I fall out of the wagon? Because I was kind of standing and
Yeah, go ahead and make a dex check because you're
I
just kind
probably
of
need to do
standing
that
there.
as well.
I was not holding anything. Oh,
We
I
saw
might-
nothing, Isidore.
I was-
There's nothing there.
I
There
thought it
was
gonna be a
something
good
there.
roll. I thought
There
it was
was
gonna be a
nothing
good
there
roll.
that I could see.
I saw it was me standing in front of the road. I was gonna trample myself with the horses. And so that's why I stopped, but she went through the horses
I'm going
and
to.
then disappeared again.
I'm gonna
Really-
check
really
her
quick.
temperature.
What did you guys get for your dex rolls? Because she stopped this thing.
I forgot.
19.
I forgot what my dex score was, so I thought it was gonna be an awesome roll. It's it's not bad. It's an 11, but I thought it was gonna go up.
You barely managed to stay forward. you kind of fall into the back of Usarker. But
Yes.
you managed to stay upright. You don't fall completely over.
Okay.
19.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that Wesley was able to like stabilize her or something.
You
Look
just
around.
ride it.
What's going on? So, what were you gonna say, Usarker?
So I
As
am.
Celestine falls
Yeah,
headfirst into
she
you.
crashed into me, and I let out the expletive of balls teeth, which was the first thing that came to mind.
BHAL.
Yes, Baal, god of murder, very common in Baldur's Gate, practically a patron god of the city. And
Just
so-
need to clarify for our listeners who are not as familiar with Forgotten Realms.
but they will become familiar as they listen to us.
Soon enough.
So,
They listened to a Tarker long enough, yes.
Celestine crashes into me, and I have to
Full
kind of-
armor.
Full
Full
armor.
Full armor.
So it
Ow.
perpetually you.
And so
You
know,
take 1 point of damage. It hurts.
Ow. So I brace myself against that and try and keep her off Izzy, who is currently strangling the horses, I should say. And
Poor
then
horses.
as soon as I get myself disentangled, I am going to check her temperature, and I am going to try and perform a medical check on her just very quickly, because she is not acting like a healthy person.
Do a medicine check.
That is a 13.
You check her temperature. She seems a little warm, but you guys have been out in the sun. It's a sunny day again.
Nothing unusual.
Nothing unusual there. Her pupils seem a little more dilated than they should be. But beyond that, she seems happy, healthy, and a little scared, but...
I'm happy, healthy.
And scared.
Celestine, can you leave the magical bell to Wesley and take control of the reins?
Mm-hmm.
Isidore, are you okay if I lay you down in the back and possibly see if I have anything that can function as a relaxant or the like for you? Because I think that you're unwell in some way, and we don't want you to get too much worse before we get to the city where we have more access to medical facilities, possibly a exorcist.
Well, you do have a doctorate of some kind. You are a doctor of some kind.
Right, and I'm doing my best with the very, very limited material that I have on hand. But I don't think it's safe for you to be driving the horses right now.
You're probably right. All right, I'll go lay down. Not on top of Kurt's coffin, though. I feel like that's sacrilegious.
You can lay down next to it or somewhere else
Disrespectful.
within a few feet of it,
Yeah,
but
sorry,
it does take
disrespectful.
up most of the space back here.
Well, giddy up, horses.
I'm gonna help and try and make her comfortable while we get Celestine into the driver's seat here.
Okay.
And I already did my medical check. Do I have anything that would function as a sedative, something to just relax her?
Green Nest would have given you, like I said, provisions, anything you may have needed on the road. So you might, if you look in one of the bags, you might find some stuff, maybe some herbs you can scramble together. Go ahead and do an investigation check.
Is it investigation? Because I know what the materials that we have are. I would have looked through them. Would it be investigation or would it be medicine or something else?
I would say investigation because you know what you're looking for, but you're just trying to search for it.
All right, then since it is investigation, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have a maneuver for this.
Ooh.
I have tactical assessment, which allows me to add an extra D8 on investigation, history, or insight.
Perfect.
So I rolled a 10, I got a 7 on the D8, and I have a +6, so that is going to be well over 20.
Yeah, you find the bag very clearly. You could smell it a mile away, all these herbs and first aid like items, and you quickly whip up just a small little concoction to calm her down.
All right.
Maybe make her a little sleepy.
So I'm going to administer that to you, probably, herbs cooked in, water or something, boiled in water or something. And then...
How are you going to boil the water while we're traveling?
Does
we have Wesley. Doesn't
Does
he have fire?
prestidigitation work?
And then I'm going to...
I can heat things
So
straight
handy.
up with
Mhm.
prestidigitation.
It's true. And then I'm going to suggest that you try and close your eyes and possibly put something over your eyes so that you darken out.
Maybe Sarker has a blindfold or something that he
I follow the
uses.
doctor's orders.
As you're making this concoction, Whiskers puts her paws up on your knees and looks at what you're doing, and then slowly pads over to Izzy and just nestles right next to her.
Kind
Aw.
of pet Whiskers' head.
This is good. Cats have a strong connection to the afterlife and the spirit world. Some say they can see things.
That being said, nothing else really happens. Everything seems to be fine except for Izzy. So as you
Hallucinating
guys,
like normal now.
so this
Her
has
new
been.
normal.
So you have a day and a half left because you ended up losing a day. So as you guys bed down for the night, Whiskers doesn't really know Wesley. He's kind of staying away from Wesley, doesn't know what to think about him. But she happily comes up between you guys and steals your food, happily.
Oh yes, always.
I think that Usarker, he likes the cat. He likes cats. He had cats growing up, but he's more of a stern. Like if Whiskers tries to steal my food, there will be a no. That's not for you. I'm not
Okay.
going to let the cat steal my food.
Challenge accepted
Mhm.
for Whiskers.
Mhm.
So, I think Wesley's going to try and befriend Whiskers.
Okay.
He's now interested in her because she's got this magical trinket on her. So playing with her and things, I'm going to try and use like prestidigitation for the equivalent of a laser dot.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Either sparks or little like mouse sound or something.
Whisker loves it. By the end of the night, Whiskers is in love with you.
Ah, victory.
She is on her back. She's nuzzling up on your neck. She loves you now.
Cool.
As long as you keep that laser pointer in your arsenal, she will love you forever.
Perfect.
Glitter pointer.
Please equip cat.
It is a glitter pointer.
You may now re-equip Cat on your new character. We have come full circle.
Gosh.
All right. Are you guys taking watch?
Of course.
Yes, I think we
All
should.
right. Who's first?
So making camp, taking watch.
Not
that does.
Isidore.
I think
Apparently.
Starker, you didn't have a watch last night.
I
Right.
would gladly take the first watch this night.
All right. Usarker, go ahead and make a perception.
That is a 22.
Man, you guys are doing so good.
It's to make up for last time.
Definitely.
2 nights ago.
As the night wears on, you just see critters come by. You see a bunch of moss. Whiskers every once in a while will jump up and try and eat one. She manages to grab one and do as cats do, torture it for a few hours
Good
Aw.
cat.
until it dies, as all cats are prone to do. But you actually do not hear the pigeon bears.
Good.
And that's the end of your shift. Who's next?
I will
I'll
wake
go.
up Celestine.
Okay, I am not ruining our nice high numbers. It's a 16.
Oh, that's very good.
Okay. As you're doing your round, you notice that Wesley is uncomfortable. And Wesley, you wake up. You think that something didn't sit well with you. Like your stomach is hurting. You're feeling a little nauseous.
Oh, I don't know if our rations are going bad or if I just picked up something weird. I don't feel great.
As you say that, Celestine, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Versus
no, not one of
projectile
those.
vomit.
Versus projectile
Not that
vomit.
one.
I'm not feeling well. Celestine, roll
What
a
is
saving
your
throw. Oh,
what is
no.
your spell save DC,
Oh,
Wesley?
Oh, no.
it is a 13.
Oh, I rolled 11.
Wesley, I need you to roll 3d6, please.
Oh, this is hefty.
I'm not a wild
Ooh.
magic sorcerer.
You're not, no.
You weren't.
Well, I was
Oh,
going to
boy.
bring up the bands around your arms and your throat, but I might get distracted.
Hear them bones roll. 15.
Okay, so this is what happens. Wesley, your stomach is just killing you, and all of a sudden, you just feel the urge to vomit. You look over to Celestine, and you're like, I think and all of a sudden, fire spews out of your mouth,
Oh,
hits
God.
Celestine square in the face, and Celestine, you take 15 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
And
No,
that wakes
my habit-
all of you up.
Aw, my habit's on fire.
Did we
isn't
just
it?
hear this blah noise
You
as
did.
he breathes fire?
You did.
Oh, my
And
What-
you,
what's
all
happening?
of you wake up.
Ow.
Rush over and...
Yeah.
Whiskers was not there either.
Okay.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll, and get rid of all the
I'm
fire.
sorry. Run over and like try and
what's
pat her
happening?
down and...
Merkel's entrails, what is this madness? Celestine, you're on fire.
Thank you for noticing.
I am trying to put her out.
Yeah.
Do
You
we
guys
have
managed-
a large water supply?
Not too big of a water supply.
We
I mean,
also
stamp it
have
out.
At least the area is damp because of all the water and
Oh,
the rain.
I can snuff it.
Stop, drop,
Yeah,
stop,
because
drop, and
Wesley has his
roll on them in the mud.
prestidigitation.
It
to put
probably
out the
takes me
fire.
a minute to
Yeah,
wake
get-
up
oh.
all the way to do that.
And you can
but,
only do
like-
like small flames, I think, maybe.
I
I can
vote
do up
stop,
to a
drop,
small
and roll.
campfire.
Oh, okay, then yeah, we're good.
She would be a small campfire at this point.
At this point, yeah. And stop, drop, and roll, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
I
you
should
guys
do.
managed to put her out. Wesley, you just vomited up fire.
Wesley, that doesn't seem healthy. Are you okay?
Wait,
Uh.
what just happened?
I think
I was asleep. Why are you on fire, Celestine?
Wesley's not feeling good.
So he set you on fire?
From 15 feet away, yeah.
It's such is the life as a
How?
companion of a magical user.
Now you
Magic.
now Wesley, in your life, you've never vomited fire.
Yeah,
but
this is
things,
new.
Things like this have happened before. Like you said, you've accidentally illusioned things or accidentally caught something else on fire, not necessarily with your breath, but
I think he's assuming that this is just weird stuff that happens around him.
Celestine's gonna get the campfire going again. We're gonna make some chamomile tea or something for him because
Have you ever
She's been had to
lit
deal with sick
people on
kids,
fire
so-
before? Have you ever
Intentionally, yes. I mean, bad.
you could have killed her? Is this the sort of thing that happens to people around you?
Not usually, no.
I didn't think so. Otherwise, you would have had a little bit of a different reputation in town.
Yeah.
This sounds unusual. This sounds unusual in the same way as my abrupt sickness and her hallucinations sound.
I think we've run afoul of something.
I
Was
think
that
we have.
campsite cursed? Maybe.
Celestine's just gonna hope that
It could be
that
some
mom
cult magic
that mom
that they are
constitution stays in
directing
place
us.
here. You know how all the kids get sick, but mom somehow just doesn't get sick? Yeah. Celestine's hoping for that right now.
yeah. Magic users, go ahead and make an Arcana check of
Dang
what
it.
just happened.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
This is not a save.
Do another save. My goal is to kill Celestine before the end of the night.
Well,
With other characters.
I have an 8.
Arcana or religion?
This would be Arcana.
18.
Okay, so 8, you're still kind of
Blurry.
thrown, Wesley. Celestine, you have known some sorcerers and wizards in their life who are not necessarily wild magic. Some people never grow into it, but this could just be he hasn't really come into his power yet, and every once in a while something weird just happens.
Okay. So he seems to have an affinity for fire at the very least.
Very much an affinity for fire. It could be related to his rings. It could be just... I mean, how old is Wesley? 18?
18.
Yeah,
Okay.
Generally sorcerers mature with their magic a little bit later than 18.
Okay.
It's still part of the growing process.
Got
So
it.
this was probably just a fluke, just like any other time Wesley has experienced this in his life. It was just a really deadly one.
Yep.
So,
How much damage did you take?
15.
15.
How much health does the average peasant have?
5.
Less than that.
So you could have killed like a
Anybody else?
crowded
Yes.
bar.
Yeah.
That's
This is
not
why
a fluke. That's
is why he's not
that's
traveling
pull
with
out the
peasants.
stake and burn the witch.
That's why he's not traveling with peasants.
That being said, you do have some acid reflux. You do think maybe you ate something bad.
Got some heartburn,
Yeah.
maybe.
So the chamomile tea that Celestine is preparing for you would definitely help with this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when she gives you the chamomile tea, she's also going to mention the fact that, so A, you seem to have an affinity for fire. Didn't know if you knew that, but
Yeah.
that's what it seems.
Yeah. It seems to be the thing that comes most naturally to me.
That is fair. You do campfires very well. The other thing is you seem to have glowing bracers and a collar.
Huh.
When I do
That's-
detect magic, I don't know if you were aware of that, if that was on purpose, but you seem to
These
have...
are, illusion? Or
Detect
you
magic.
You only saw them when you were doing magic.
I saw Whisker's Bell, and I saw those on you.
Well, that's really interesting.
So you were not aware of it.
No. It does remind me of a dream I had. Or it was a dream. Yes.
You assume it was a dream.
Tell us about this
I'm
dream.
forgetting the
Shush,
exact
shush, shush.
details.
This is farther away. You guys are going back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Patient confidentiality. Shush, shush, shush.
So what had happened was the kobold was walking away, and off of the fang, you saw each band fly off one after another, hit your wrist, and then knock you backwards when it hit your neck.
Okay.
So does that mean Celestine only saw the magic on his wrist, or she could also see it around his neck?
On
She
his
saw it
neck,
around his
too.
neck as well.
Okay.
Which
Bracelets
probably
and a
seeing
collar.
it through, like, glowing through his clothing and things. Because a thing that you've noticed about Wesley, he always wears long sleeves. He's got
Yeah, I was
a
going to ask about
high-necked
that.
tunic and generally wears a scarf.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about that because I figured maybe he's just wearing something under his shirt because I thought I had remembered that he always wore long sleeves. So I assumed maybe it was something under your shirt, but apparently it's not.
This is good. Is that Wesley kind of pulled down his collar a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and looking and feeling. Doesn't see anything, seem to find anything unusual for him. But you see what looks like scales on his neck that have a goldish tint. And not like covering it completely, but kind of mottled, patchy.
Okay, just to make sure it is like, and that's normal, right? I don't mean to pry. Just
I mean, like it's.
as long as you're familiar with it, I'm fine. I just want to make sure.
I've had it for a long time. I mean,
Okay. Like I don't want to pry. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't a new malady that came with everything else.
Not sudden occurrence.
A new rash.
Just making sure it wasn't a new rash.
No.
From that poison ivy.
Okay, cool. So Celsine's gonna let that
Successfully
go.
avoided that.
Thank goodness.
Didn't eat it either.
Interesting though. Okay. I hope the chamomile tea helps your stomach.
Yes.
And it looks like you don't actually have bracelets and the collar on, so yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
The rest of the night, on your watch, nothing else happens. You do hear him burping a little bit, Wesley burping a little bit, and there's a little bit of smoke come out of his mouth. But beyond that, he's
Can
fine.
we make sure to move him at least 20 feet away from other characters and Whiskers?
Yes.
I think Whiskers was probably
I've been banished
just
to the
fine.
darkness.
Yes. Who is on third watch?
Sounds like it's probably me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you wake up.
Mm.
You still got like that gross feeling, but
Yeah.
go ahead and do a perception.
Oh, good. That would be a 19.
Keeping that trend
Aha,
going.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I have a question about healing in a second.
As you are watching, you get the sensation that you're being watched.
I'm going to look around and see if I can perceive whatever is watching me.
So you look around. This is just plains again,
Mm-hmm.
hills and plains. There's really no tree cover going on. You've gone far away from the tree cover at this point. That feeling intensifies and it intensifies and it intensifies, and you feel the hairs on the back of your neck start to prickle, and it feels like it's right behind you.
I'm going to cast Sword Burst around me.
Okay.
Maybe it's a good thing we moved
What
you.
is that?
It's a momentary circle of spectral blades that sweep around me. All other creatures within 5 feet must make a successful dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 force damage.
What's your saving throw?
Dex of 13.
So you turn around and describe to me what these swords
These are
look
golden
like.
flaming swords.
Golden flaming swords. You turn around, these golden flaming swords burst out from you, and you hear meow, and you see Whiskers just was looking at you, and she's kind of cowering. She's like, meow, meow.
Bane's Iron Gauntlet, I say as I shoot up. I'm assuming that this not only had a screaming cat, but also you casting the spell and calling out the verbal component.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're all awake again.
Oh, not again.
Well,
By the way, is there half damage for this, or is it full or none?
it's full or nothing.
Is Whiskers a confetti?
Whiskers got a 13.
Oh no.
Are
So
we
she
catless?
saved.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
the spell save was
meets,
13.
It meets
Okay.
or beats it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
For
Confetti
everyone's knowledge, I pulled up cat. As written, they only have 2 hit points.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So, just for those concerned.
For,
we need to beef
normal.
up Whiskers.
Mhm.
for normal cats.
Put armor on this
just
cat.
respect that a cat is not supposed to get into a fight with an ogre or somebody casting
Or
sword.
anything.
So yeah, you don't see anybody else except Whiskers, and Whiskers is very hurt. Not physically, but she looks like you have slighted her and insulted her mother.
What happened?
Well,
Are we being attacked?
No.
Do you have
No,
a
go back
more-
to sleep. That was
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I felt threatened on my watch. Similar feelings that Izzy was describing earlier, that it was
Are you also being haunted by your own doppelgangers?
At that moment, you hear the sounds of running away from you guys.
What the heck?
And you see a dark figure start darting away.
All of us see it?
I'm how far away?
Yeah, it's about 30 feet away at this
I'm
point.
gonna cast Hold Person,
Ooh, yes.
And I am going to run after it.
Okay, hold
Yep.
person.
which is a Wisdom of 13 save.
How far does this go? What's your
60.
60.
Yeah.
So this figure is just bolting. All of a sudden,
Hold up.
it stops in mid-run.
Oh no.
You got it.
Cool.
Sweet.
Usurker, you said you're running after
I
it?
am running after
I'm
it. Yeah.
following.
Okay.
I'm maintaining concentration and coming closer and saying the right whispers.
I would actually also like to keep an eye out and scan the area to make sure there's not another one.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage because you're looking out into the dark.
I rolled the same thing twice, so that would be an 18.
Looking around, you don't see anybody else. You just see this one figure.
Okay.
And how long does whole person last?
Up to a minute.
Okay. Just still there. Usurker, you manage to get up to it, and you see a long blonde-haired man. And he seems to have a bagpipe on his back.
What?
And he's like,
What?
So,
got sweat and dripping down his face as he's trying to break this hold, but he can't.
how long does your hold last?
Only a few moments longer.
I'm taking my hand axe, flipping it around to the blunt end, and I am going to knock him out.
All right, go for it.
I believe I get a critical hit because he's incapable of dodging.
Paralyzed.
That's true. He is paralyzed. Go ahead.
Do I have to roll damage, or is he going to be knocked out by this?
You would have to roll damage.
Okay. I will swing multiple times if I need to.
Okay.
You've got enough.
Tell me how much
several
damage you
rounds
rolled the
to do
first
this.
time.
Well, so the hand axe does a d6 plus 3, so critical is going to be 2d6. A pity. I only rolled 4 damage, so that's going to be 7. So clunk on the first one. I can roll again.
Do you have 2 attacks?
Just, whenever my turn comes
If
up.
he gets hit, does he have another saving throw?
At the end of each of its turns, target can make another wisdom saving throw.
So at this point, do you guys need to roll initiative?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to action surge so that we can encourage this to not
Okay,
you
go ahead and
know,
try an action surge
be
this.
bad. So he took 7 damage earlier. So now we'll try again. I just can't roll well. That's 8 damage.
So that's 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He ended up failing his saving throw. At this point, are you guys going to run after him, or is it just Usurker?
We were, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
go
they were
ahead and do
coming.
initiative.
They were coming.
Okay. And I went back and I grabbed some rope as well.
I roll well on initiative. Usurker, what'd you get?
19.
What is your dex?
My dex is +1.
Izzy,
18.
Wesley.
Total of 21.
Nice.
Very nice.
We got the drop on this fella.
You did. Celestine.
Well, you guys did. I've got 9.
Hey!
That's like really good for you,
You're
though.
almost double digits.
I know. I'm on spot. I am. What?
You're on fire?
On fire tonight. We'll go with that.
Well, no, you were on fire
Literally.
earlier tonight.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm going so fast.
Oh my gosh.
So Wesley, you're up first. You've got hold person going.
I am
He is
maintaining
30.
hold
He is now
person.
35 feet away. We'll say 35 feet. He managed to get 5 feet before you got him.
I was thinking about casting Charm Person, but that wouldn't be helpful because you're attacking him.
Nope, that wouldn't.
Right. Yeah.
No.
He
He
would
makes
have
that with
advantage on
advantage.
that one.
I'm just going to be ready to cast it again and get close, but not within striking range, but not within melee range.
Okay.
And take my action. No, I will wait because I can cast it on him before he gets further.
Cool. I did roll for him earlier for breaking the spell. He did not. He's still held. Usurker, it's your turn.
I will smack him again.
All right.
Then we have to wait for him to wake up to question him.
Oh, that's much better. That is a 14 damage.
Okay.
Is he still up?
Still looking a little rough.
So, remembering that I have 2 hands, I punch him.
That's an offhand attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that is going to deal
2 damage?
2 plus my 3, so 5 damage. I don't sleep with 2 hand axes, unfortunately.
Mhm.
He's looking pretty rough. Next up is Izzy.
So I run up the 30 feet to reach them and hit with my scimitar. And because he's held, it's auto crit. That's what we were
It's
saying.
an auto crit, yeah.
So I just roll
Yeah.
damage.
Yep. And then also announce that you're doing.
I am
Non-
doing non-lethal damage
Yes.
if this does bring him down.
Okay.
Okay. So where's my
What
D6?
is the wording on hold person? How are they held? Are they paralyzed or?
Incapacitated?
They must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration.
I'm just looking up some
So you
stuff.
guys can continue smacking him. He doesn't have to do any more saves, right?
At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay, just want to make sure.
But attacking, receiving damage doesn't do
A
anything.
paralyzed
with that.
creature is incapacitated. Any attack that hits the creature, so technically it does have to hit him, is a critical
Okay.
hit.
Then I will roll to hit.
Yes,
Now
I
that we
should have
know
rolled
that.
to
I
hit,
will
but-
tell you, it was probably Usarker probably hit him.
Yeah. I will roll to see if I hit.
'Kay.
I probably did not. That is a 10.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did not.
You have advantage because he can't dodge.
All right, that's a 19.
That hits.
Okay. Non-lethal damage, total of 8.
Is that doubled?
No. 11.
He can't move, but you also can't really see the expressions on his face. He's not moving.
Good.
You might have to look at his eyes to see if they.
Celestine,
closed.
it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna run up and be like, this is gonna take forever for him to wake up. I'm gonna check to make sure is he out of it.
Oh, he's 100% unconscious.
Okay, we're gonna check to make sure.
Frozen.
Is he still alive?
He's still breathing
Cool.
because Izzy said non-lethal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's still breathing.
Just making sure. I'll ask Wesley if he can release it, and we'll tie him up. 'Cause
Sure.
I can't tie him.
Let's tie him up
can I
and then
move him?
release it.
Can I move him? Can external forces move?
Well, he's
Yes.
paralyzed. I think means
You
you can,
can
pick
drag
him
him.
up and carry him around, and he
Yes,
looks
but
like
can I move his arm so I can tie it up?
Is he
Oh.
frozen, or are his muscles just not responding to
He
his?
is paralyzed.
So I can move it and
So
tie him up.
so how I'm going to flavor this is when you held him, he was in a running position. He couldn't move anywhere. However, he's unconscious, so now he's just dead weight. So at this point, you could probably move him around, but he can't do anything.
Okay, cool. So tie him up first, and then we can let it go.
Okay.
Okay. So you tie him up.
Mm-hmm.
About 10 minutes later, you hear, ugh, my head, ow.
And charm person.
And search his pack.
What is the save?
Yeah, hopefully we've been looking.
13.
through-
Wisdom of
So,
13.
can we go back in time? Because you said it was 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We would have examined his pack and belongings, and
While he was out.
Yeah.
Unless he only
Yeah.
had a wet
He
bagpipe.
has a bagpipe and a bag with
Pipes.
with more pipes and
Replacement
just
pipes.
clothes, a little bit of food.
any identifying markers. If you'd like, I can roll investigate to try and figure out what his, backstory is.
You see an amulet of Timora on him. But
Oh,
that's
good.
that's
One of those
all it
people.
is.
Mhm. Your
That's
favorite.
all you see on this guy.
My favorite.
So he's starting to stir, and he has an amulet of Timora around his neck.
Ashlyn, do you remember Leosin? Did he have a amulet or something?
Leosin was a half-elf?
This gentleman is not.
This guy we attacked is definitely not a half-elf.
He also had an odd amulet, right? I don't think you could identify it.
Well, I mean, he had a bunch of amulets.
That's true.
like he pointed to one that looked like the amulet of Tempest so that I could identify Celestine.
okay. He just has all the clarity.
He's one of
Symbols.
those people.
So, assuming
person.
that he fails his wisdom saving throw of 13, that
He failed really bad.
Oh no.
He got
So
a,
we've
he
got-
got a 5.
Oh.
we've got an hour that he'll be friendly to us.
He looks up. He is
Unless given reason to believe not.
Mhm. Oh, it's such a.
He is tied up. Will that
You had a
hurt?
nasty fall there, friend. Are you okay?
and in your mind you hear, no, somebody hit me really hard.
He doesn't say this though, but in his
He does
mind,
not.
And he only says it in Wesley's mind or in all of our minds?
Wesley's, I believe. Check.
I mean,
Yes,
he
only
could be a
Wesley.
level 1 warlock.
So, I'm going to look around
Is he saying
at
anything?
the rest of you, because I saw his face talking to him. Did not see his mouth move, but heard that. Did you all hear him speak?
Not
Mm,
I.
no.
Moan.
He's just looking at us.
I feel like introductions are in order. I'm very sorry. My name's Wesley. These are my companions. We are traveling on the road and discovered you here. You fell down. Who are you? What are you doing out traveling here?
He looks up and his eye is swollen and his mouth is swollen. He's got a cut that looks like it might get infected at some point.
I am not sorry.
And he squints
He interrupted
because
my sleep for the second time this night.
he squints and because he is looking directly into the fire. And again, Wesley, in your mind, you hear, "My mouth hurts. Is there something on it?" And he moves his head, and you just see this gash on his mouth.
Oh, that you've got a nasty cut there. I'm sorry that you feel that way. that happened to you. That's really awful.
Yeah, I was just walking down the path and I saw a fire and I wasn't sure if they were friend or foe, and then one of them had swords burst out of him. I got scared and I just booked it. Do you happen to know where those people went?
I don't know. We just have been traveling and we're just about to make camp ourselves.
Oh my gosh. Would you
3
like
in
to
the
roll for
morning.
BS?
I'm good at this.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
roll
his
for
BS.
deception.
I'm asking about his BS, but yours too, I suppose.
Yeah.
And traveling.
I
at
would
3 in the
also
morning.
like to insight on him a little bit.
Mhm.
which
And you're
one-
the only one who can hear this, by the
Mhm.
way.
So you're the only one that can incite it.
So all of you are just hearing this one-sided conversation.
Yep.
Which one do you want me to roll first? Deception or insight?
Go ahead and do deception first.
Okay. Oh.
I'll do with advantage since he's real
He's
beat
addled.
up
And he's charmed.
and he's charmed.
Charmed and dazed. Bludgeoned even.
Oh no.
So I rolled a 2 and then I rolled a 1.
Oh, man.
What's your total?
I have a
Glorious.
+3 to my deception skill, but that's only a 4.
Okay. That being said, go ahead and do an insight
Or a
check.
5,
You
rather.
said?
Yeah.
What were
guess-
you looking for?
How truthful he's being in his non-verbal communication.
Okay.
Well, it's a lot better. That is a total of 20.
Nice.
He's being 100% truthful. He came up upon you
Well,
guys,
that's unfortunate.
was looking at you,
3 in
and
the
all of a sudden
morning.
you attacked a cat with swords.
I want to know what he was doing at 3-ish.
Robbing us.
So-
Oh.
He looks up again, squinting, looking directly in the fire. I don't believe you, but for some reason I think that's okay. Why does my mouth hurt? And at this point he tries to move his hands. He goes, "What? Why can't I move?"
Gotta mobilize you for your safety. You were injured.
it's a dangerous...
Out of character since he can't hear him.
Yeah, out of character since I can't hear. I'm totally not helping
I'm
Wesley.
going to look around to the rest of the group and I was like, he seems to be talking with his mind. Kind of odd experience. I haven't experienced this one. How are you talking with your mind?
I've done this my whole life. I'm a Kalistar. Have you not met a Kalistar before?
Would you be so kind as to include my companions in your speech?
I'm trying, but I can't. My mouth hurts.
Celestine, I think that we may have made a slight error, or at least for a moment. Let's take him back to the camp and perhaps tend to his wounds a little bit. I think that he may just have been a traveler like us and surprised us in the night.
Traveling alone?
It happens.
Still a little suspicious,
People
but
do travel alone. Being out here and moving about without introducing himself at whatever ungodly hour this is.
well, I can
Probably
look at my med
abandoned
kit.
or-
In his
thief.
defense, he didn't have much opportunity. We did catch him a long ways off and startle him with a burst of magic.
Well, then we can bring him back to the warm fire so he is not eaten by an owlbear in the night.
Yeah, because that's a real possibility out here.
mean
Let's go
werewolves?
back.
Yes, we don't want him to be bitten by a werewolf either.
Yeah, that'd be very bad.
What about werewolves? You hear in your brain. Are there
Nothing.
werewolves out here? Please, no. I cannot deal with werewolves.
I'm gonna pick
Not
him
tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
But any other night is okay.
So you guys
Must
bring
go
him
to the
back to
camp.
the camp.
I'll search through our
And
med
now that
kits.
you're in the full light, because I assumed one of you had a torch up to him this whole time. Now that he's in the full light, you can see that, yeah, he has a very huge gash. Crits hurt.
Imagine that.
A huge gash over his mouth, and it's just starting to swell. You think whoever made that attack hasn't cleaned their blade in a while.
Oh dear.
See, it was a blade. I used an axe.
You use the other
have
end
blades.
of it. You use the other end of the blade.
I also
you
used.
did specify you're
I
using the blunt
could have
end.
gashed him just bashing him with the back end. I
It
suppose.
is true.
Izzy's going to clean her scimitars.
They are awfully bloody at the moment.
She's going to do it out of his sight, though.
Just
Discreetly.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of swelling and
yeah.
blood everywhere. He
I'll
can't
get
talk
the
very
med
easily.
kit. So
You also have spells and things, yes?
Do we want to waste
she have
spells
your-
on
I
this
have-
guy? On
I
this guy?
used 2 spell slots already. I don't
Oh,
think I've gotten
okay.
them back.
Nope, not yet.
Now, if he still can't talk after I've cleaned everything up, then I will consider you. I mean,
That
I-
makes sense.
I have healing word. That's all I got.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I'm not.
If you can generate like some sort of ice pack or something,
Yeah.
you could.
I could just,
Help with
you
that.
know, whip up some numbing medicine.
yeah, I figure we probably have. I was gonna
Sure.
grab
Between
some
the
numbing.
two of you,
Sure,
can
numbing
figure
medicine,
We got
so
something.
he can't
Well, yeah,
feel his
whatever.
tongue when he talks.
No, just topical.
After it wears off, he'll discover that he's been chewing on it a bit, and it'll be all raw and
Oh.
paint, in addition to gashed.
Oh,
How about just on the cheek? We'll just put it right there,
okay.
and then tape up his mouth and his chin, and yeah, put it all back together and clean it. That's
Yeah.
probably the major
That's
part.
important.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys managed to clean it. After a little bit, the swelling goes down. It takes about 15-20 minutes because swelling can be there for a while.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
it slowly goes down. He goes, ugh, thank you. And he's talking out of one side of his mouth. Thank you, guys. That hurt. Ow.
What were you doing out here?
I was traveling. Ow.
Why didn't you make camp when it got dark? Don't you know it's dangerous to travel at night?
It's more dangerous to be alone at a camp than traveling alone and continue walking.
I mean, that makes sense. As a
little bit.
campfire, you're attracting attention, and if you're only by yourself, people can see that.
Well, I suppose that would be dependent on how well protected these roads are. Actually, that's a good question. Can I roll a history check to see how good of a job Berdusk and the surrounding El Terrell region spend in patrols?
We're
Sure.
a whole day away. I
Some
don't
highway
know.
patrols.
Oh, that's really nice, actually. My second 18. That will give me a 24.
You're more likely to run into bandits on the sections that are furthest from the cities, and you've run into people periodically throughout your travels, just, waving and stuff. People could look shifty, but as of right now, you guys haven't really run into anybody who has looked like a bandit or has looked.
So there are no professional bandits out here, but there may be some opportunistic ones.
Yeah.
So only
yeah.
professional bandits look like bandits?
We haven't seen patrols coming and going.
Oh,
You
okay,
have not seen
okay.
patrols.
Okay.
But where you guys are at the moment, there's really no, like, people going down this route probably would not have anything much to steal
Mhm.
unless it was a large caravan. At that point, it would be a heist.
Right, yeah, that's a whole different scheme. Were you going to Berdusk, or were you coming from Berdusk?
I was coming from Berdusk.
Where were you going? The nearest town that we're aware of, I'm assuming, is like 3.5, 4 days.
I was going to I've got some family down there, and ow.
Does he look Amish?
Maybe.
Maybe I'll call it Armenian. I think that's
Yeah.
how it's
That's more
said.
appropriate. I don't know.
Yeah, he looks
Omnian?
Amish, Armenian.
I think it's Armenian, if I recall my Baldur's Gate 2.
Armenian, Omnian.
Well, this seems
He does.
unfortunate.
Okay.
Yes.
He at least looks like he could be from Mom. Okay.
Where's my bagpipe? I need that. That's my livelihood.
Right next to you, don't worry.
Another
thank
bard.
goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Why did you... Why... Are you... You're the camp. Why did you attack a cat? That was so horrendous.
That was an unfortunate accident.
We've had a couple tonight.
We've encountered some dangerous things recently, and it's left us all a little bit jumpy, and thus our unfortunate incident with you. We are very sorry, and we would like to let bygones be bygones, and enjoy our new friendship.
Whiskers takes a sniff at this guy and turns her nose up and patters away.
I'll work on her lid.
You said danger. What danger? These
know.
roads are usually clear.
You know,
Didn't you
they're
just tell us about how dangerous it is to travel at night?
Well, yeah.
That danger.
It's dangerous to be alone and just have a beacon. But like, what do you mean danger?
I think most
I can
important
handle a normal bandit.
is that there's probably more than bandits out here.
Have you heard about the cult attacks?
Cult attacks.
You haven't heard what happened to Greenest recently in the surrounding cities?
I haven't been to Greenest in 2 years. What's going on?
We just left there. It was attacked by a small army of
Army?
kobolds and humans and others.
Dragon.
There was even a dragon.
Hold up. And he starts laughing. He's like, you're pulling my leg. A dragon?
Yep.
If we were
Really
going to
out
pull
in
your
these
leg,
areas?
we would pull it off after your stunt tonight. No, we're not.
Make a persuasion check.
Is that persuasion?
It's
It's the
something.
same roll, but
I'm certainly doing persuasion.
I got a 4. He doesn't have to believe me.
Yeah, dragon. Right. Yeah, the worst thing I've ever seen on these roads is like a rogue teenager doing something for initiation to some stupid gang.
I'm going to pull out the writ that we have from
Governor Nighthill.
Governor Nighthill.
The sealed one?
The sealed
Oh.
one.
Well, you don't want
it's
to
sealed.
unseal it.
Never mind. I won't do that.
But
Okay.
you have a token from him or something,
We don't-
right?
I'm going to pull out, it's like, I have a writ from Governor Nighthill that we are going to Berdusk to ask for aid.
We don't need to tell this guy all of our
Oh.
business.
Okay. But a dragon? You really expect me to believe that there was a dragon?
Believe what you want, but
Be careful.
be careful. Is that we're just giving you warning to be aware of things out here.
We've seen dragons and owlbears and ghosts and spirits and cultists. Oh my. And you don't seem too
No
careful.
sleep.
So
Okay.
Well, ghosts? No. Dragons don't live in this area
Mm.
that I know of.
Mhm. Mhm.
And spirits, maybe. But, I mean, bandits and owlbears, sure, why not? I can believe that.
Well, what do we do with them, guys?
I just wanted to come over here and see if I could take a short nap in your area and maybe exchange a tune for maybe some meat or something, but I might just keep going.
that's probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do you have more of that numbing cream?
I'll make him up another batch.
Thank you. And at this point, the
Are
charm
we
person's starting
gonna
to...
release him, do we think?
I figure we have two options. We can leave him tied up in camp until morning and then let him go. Or we can let him go, make sure he walks off far enough, and then just keep watch.
We could just, we're
not leaving him tied up in camp forever. No.
Oh dear.
Those are the
he
two
seems
options you
harmless,
got.
and I feel like we've made an error in attacking him.
But I'm still concerned enough that I'm not going to heal him with a healing word.
No.
So,
Okay.
No.
especially since I might need to use it in a second. As soon as I figure it out how much healing I can do tonight. So,
By the way, since we're, okay with each other, why am I tied up?
Because
we're
we
not
weren't
okay with each
you
other.
when we first met you.
Oh, can I be
Remember?
untied now?
I think that we can do that
Yeah.
now.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
You'll remember that our friend Mr. Wesley was quite startled, and then we saw you fleeing the scene. We thought that perhaps you were involved.
Right. I'm just gonna go now.
That's
Sounds good.
probably
It's
for the
alright.
best. What was your name?
Helmut Weeks.
Mr. Weeks, enjoy your trip to Om.
Well, it's gonna be better than this. I'll find another camp.
Good plan.
Perhaps announce your
prob-
presence to
yes.
them from a distance rather than
I was
sneaking up
about
on
to,
them.
and then swords flew. So, goodbye.
Goodbye.
And
Travel
he just
safely.
starts walking off.
Okay.
Sorry.
Interrupted night. We're
I'm
not.
exhausted, guys.
So-
I'm going back to sleep.
We're getting exhausted.
Does that
aren't
count
we?
as no spell recovery?
No, you guys are able to fall asleep.
Oh,
You
good.
end up finishing everything. So, that being said, you have a day and a half more.
Onward.
Onward, David, please roll.
Don't roll cows.
15. I think I rolled that last time. That sounds familiar. Is it cows? Or no. It was
No.
owlbears when I rolled
That
the
would be
first time.
owlbears.
The day goes by normally as you set up camp. There's really nothing. You see a couple caravans of dwarves going by, but beyond that, nothing really exciting happens.
I didn't hallucinate again. This is a positive.
You did not hallucinate again, no.
Oh, I switch out my habit for a non-burned one.
Perfect.
You have spares?
Well, when you go through them as fast as I do, you gotta have at least one spare, if not two,
As you
until
guys
I learn mending.
As you guys are setting up camp, you see two large beings slowly approaching your camp.
Oh, dear.
How large are we talking? Are we talking like large, bulky? Oh, okay.
Yes, David, it's exactly the
how
same.
are they
We rolled a
approaching?
15 last time, too.
They are very tentative.
I mean, we did scare him
How
off
is
last time.
Whiskers reacting to this?
Yes.
Whiskers is at full attention, just staring at him.
Is she gonna pounce on
She
them?
even does that thing where she goes on her back legs and just to get a better look,
Oh,
even though
no.
it doesn't actually help.
So, like in The Cat Returns?
Yes.
Would it be a animal handling or knowledge nature to know how to scare off, or even arcana to know how to scare off a bear-pigeon hybrid?
Since you guys rolled for that last time, loud noises scared them off pretty easily last
So
time.
I want to figure out. They followed us for
For a long
3
ways.
days.
Or
3
this is
days.
their territory, as I
Mhm.
theorized
This is a large
previous.
territory, and the fact that they came.
Well, no. I'm saying
sorry.
this could be the territory of this. I said it was indigenous. I'm going to retract that and say that it's probably an invasive, magically created species.
Mm-hmm.
But there may be dozens of owl bears in this region.
Just for the heck of it. Do they look familiar?
They do.
Oh, are they small little ones again?
Yeah,
Or
little
you
ones,
said,
yeah.
I thought you said they were large.
Well, you saw large figures in the distance, but I mean, the cubs are still big.
Okay.
So,
So-
we,
Sorry, larger than humans. How does that sound?
I'm not sure that I could tell one owlbear cub from another. So I'm not
have we only encountered owlbear cubs?
You've only encountered owlbear
We
cubs.
have not encountered owlbear mom.
You have not.
We could not find her last time.
Maybe owlbear mom, pigeon bear mom is gone. And I'm going to...
Do you want to
Let's-
risk that and risk the terror of being hunted by owlbears?
If anything, we might be able to lure them back into the woods with some food.
Yeah, at this point, because the road that you guys were going on, you ended up going into the plains away from the wood, and you started heading north, and now you're getting back into that wooded area. So they seem to be fairly close to the wooded area at this point.
Well,
How well can we see? Sorry, you go.
It's sunset.
Just gonna suggest that we grab some of our rations and lure them back into the woods, and then maybe we'll move a little bit further so that
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll be able to find us no matter what at this point. But maybe if we can get the food far enough away, they'll just stay over there.
So I am not trained in nature, but can I see them well enough to attempt a nature check in order to determine do they look like they've been abandoned? Are they looking like they haven't had somebody but taking care of them?
Yeah, go ahead and do a nature check on that.
I got an 8, so probably not.
They look hungry. They look pretty hungry. They're a little thin.
They look a little thin. It
Hmm.
could be that we are easy pickings for owlbears, and so they're waiting for their mother to kill us. Or it could be perhaps that their mother is dead, killed by something like a dragon or other creature which our friend did not believe in.
I grab a bag of food. Who wants to go with me into the woods?
I'll go with you.
I'll
Cool.
stay behind and bang pots. I say.
Wait until we at least move farther, otherwise I don't know where they're gonna go.
I guess I will stay with the cart and horses.
Mm-hmm.
Head whiskers.
Whiskers, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Usarker's gonna stay as well. Okay, so
Because we were starting to like make camp a little bit.
Mhm.
So we're going to gather everything up and pack it into the cart.
Okay. So Izzy and Celestine, you guys head back into the woods. The cubs don't really know what you're doing.
I toss a piece of
Clang,
jerky their way.
Clang.
One of them goes up and sniffs it, takes a bite, and then backs away because it's a little scared of you.
It's all right. I
You're
keep
the one
moving.
who chased it off last time.
It's true. Well, let's go. And so I'm just gonna walk into the woods, and we're gonna put the bag out there somewhere, and then if they want it, they want it, and if they don't, well, Usarker's banging pots.
All right.
Let's do it.
You guys make it into the woods, put the food down.
Probably not the smartest idea, but other than banging pots again,
I mean, maybe we'll just have them leave us alone. And I'm starting to get the feeling now that they're not just werewolves in disguise.
Yeah. Now, they've
Yeah.
gotten close enough that you guys can see that they are very skinny. Like,
they can't hunt for themselves.
yeah.
Maybe their mom died.
That's probable. I like Usarker's idea that the dragon may have killed him. Why? I have no idea, but
Hungry.
Mm-hmm.
now I'm partially concerned that it's going to imprint on us anyway because there's food.
We
And our
already
scent?
have one animal companion. We can't pick
We must
up
have
two
3.
more.
Well, I would say I'm concerned that they're going to imprint on us, but they're already following us.
oh
so-
no.
I feel like
Now, we
eh,
need to train them and use them as guards when we set up camp.
There we go. Then we'll have 3 things that can watch while we all sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
I
So
am
Become a
in full
band of
force.
Yeah,
adventurers
you don't
to
think
train
that
their
this-
pets.
Yeah, you don't think that the amount of food that you put there is really going to do much, unfortunately.
were there any deer on the way in?
Both of you make a survival check.
Or do you want me to help her so she gets advantage?
Either or is fine.
I'll roll. 18.
Okay, cool. I got 12.
You do see deer tracks.
Let's go get a deer.
I can track down a deer. I've got my longbow and a crossbow.
Cool. Let's go.
All right.
I'll put that down, and then we'll go hunt a deer and give him a deer.
All right. You guys manage to track one down. It takes about 10 minutes to find one.
Okay.
And,
Take my crossbow, shoot at it.
okay, make an attack roll.
Okay. I rolled a 24 to hit.
Whoa.
Methinks that hits.
Nuh-uh. Deer's got a AC of 26.
The deer's got a greater AC.
That's why
than
it
most.
takes hunters an hour.
Perfect.
That's
Go
why
ahead
it
and roll
takes them
da-
hours.
Go ahead and roll damage, please.
Oh, that's minimum damage. So 5.
It dies. You get it right in the brain and it just falls over.
Like a kobold.
Oh, pretty much.
It's
Okay.
less than a kobold.
Oh, even worse.
So
Okay.
you've got this dead deer.
Yep.
Pigeon bears didn't really seem to follow you, though.
We're
They were
gonna.
eating.
Let's
Gonna-
drag
are
this
they
deer back to
following
them.
Wesley and Usarker as we're breaking camp and starting to move away?
No, they were following these.
Okay.
Just
they-
as
Wait,
very
we're
are,
saying-
distant.
are we setting camp or breaking camp?
We were
We're
moving
moving a
away.
little. Yeah.
You're moving
Okay,
away.
this was in the morning. Okay.
No,
No.
it's still at night.
You guys started sitting down, saw the bears, and then
Decided
started
to move again.
You know,
Yeah.
you're just
like
gonna
did
move.
the first night.
So they didn't
Yeah.
follow you because you assumed they got the bag,
hmm
and
Yeah.
so
So let's take the deer back to approximately where the bag was, and then, I mean, I'll probably gut it and leave it there.
Yep.
It's probably, if we
Dead.
really want to feed them, we should leave the whole deer. I was gonna think if we wanted to bring
Yeah.
some back, but
I think we'll be fine. If we need anything for ourselves, I mean, I can go hunting again.
that's true.
So just to save time, you guys do manage to meet up with the pigeon bears. You slowly and carefully coax them over to the deer. Takes them a second to realize what you have done for them, and then they just go to town on this deer.
Okay, maybe they'll
And
stop
we
following.
slowly back away.
They probably won't
idea.
stop following, but oh well. Okay, back to camp. Finding camp.
Yeah, so you guys managed to finish camp. You do not see the pigeon bears for the rest of the night.
We fed them a
Hooray.
deer. We don't think they'll bother us anymore. Also, I'm pretty sure they're not werewolves anymore.
As awesome as having a owl bear, pigeon bear type animal for a pet would be, one, little baby bear is a lot more of a mess and not helpful. 2, there's so much of a chance of that going bad
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
in so
But-
many different
But it would
interesting
be
ways.
great. Great story.
All right, this is your last night unless you hit rain.
Oh, jeez.
So, who's up first for watches?
Izzy will go.
All right, Izzy, perception.
How is Izzy's hallucinations
I had
been?
no episodes today. I think I'm cured.
It worked, Usarker. You're a genius.
Sarker doesn't feel like a genius or that he contributed much to
Does
a
Usarker
cure.
want to stay up with her?
He would love to.
Okay.
Okay. You can also make a perception check if you so desire.
I will allow her to, but I am on watch.
5.
Does she get advantage?
I mean, I could.
It would have
but
been a straight roll at that point. Well, go ahead to advantage. You're fine. I'll be nice.
8.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. That really changed everything.
Yeah, totally.
Your watch goes uneventfully. You do feel some drizzle of rain as another rain cloud passes over you guys, but beyond that, it's quiet.
So I might spend part of my watch when I see that rain cloud, feeling the raindrops. I might try practicing my newfound ability to speak to the wind and the storm.
Okay.
What do you tell it?
I'm like,
Move on.
hey, storm, how's it going?
So you say that. You hear and feel late.
Oh.
That's it. That's all you.
By the
Feel.
way, do you know what's going on with me? Why I'm seeing visions of myself? No? Okay. I got it. You got places to be. People to rain on. It's fine.
And everything is perfect. Who's up next?
I'll go.
Wesley.
That's a 12.
Whiskers is very upset with you and has been for the whole day.
I'm gonna use the
he may never recover from
the
that
sparkle
fright.
toy.
It takes some time, but she eventually stops glaring at you from on the other side of the fire
I'm
and
gonna
does
use-
start to play.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation to create a small magical trinket. The squeaky toy.
Oh.
She goes nuts.
Does that wake the rest of us up with it being
Small squeaky toy.
This
Okay.
cat has
Small
no
squeaky toy.
survival instincts.
She goes nuts. She just
I
tears
mean,
around
She's still
everything.
alive.
She's jumping over people. Every once in a while, she'll accidentally land on somebody's head and wake them up for a
Ugh.
second, but that's just
No.
cats.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's just normal for cats. And you think you're almost back to where you were before the swords. Okay, next up.
Celestine. 21.
You also experience a little bit of a drizzle,
Okay.
but nothing strong enough to put out the fire.
Okay.
Just
cool.
it's on and off. Lasts for about an hour. You wake up. One last roll.
Oh, jeez, it's my turn.
It's your
I
turn.
better not roll cows. Because I rolled cows last time.
This is for our next day.
12.
Now, is that the same?
I don't think
roll?
so.
I don't like Corin's face. Corin,
So
Oh my
are
God.
there cows, Corin?
they're not cows.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. No cows.
Okay.
As you were starting your journey,
What other horror befalls us?
another storm blows in.
Oh.
You cannot move closer to Berdusk. You can literally see it off into the distance before the rain comes in, but you cannot move.
I'm going to
You're
speak to the
stuck.
rain again. Could you, please delay another
Can
day?
you be late?
I mean, I understand. Okay, never mind.
So it's just pouring down.
It's just pouring down.
Well,
This
pedal in
is
the caravan again.
beyond ridiculous. We can hold and wait for the corpse to come in, but there's no reason to delay in taking your message to the town.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest that one or two of us go to Berdusk and deliver the message so that we are not just waiting out here
Yeah.
while danger mounts against us.
I agree. Usarker, would you like to go with me?
Willingly, yes. Are you two okay staying behind with Kurt?
Nice and warm and dry, yep.
I mean, I feel bad, but if that's what you feel like we have to do.
I feel like the message is more important, and it's something that ought to be done.
All right, we'll catch up with you as soon as the storm clears.
In fact, if we want, I suppose that we could take the horses or not and leave you here and come back for them. Or if the rain passes, then I suppose that we could leave the horses and head on foot.
Whichever.
Let's take the horses then, and we can bring them back when we have the opportunity to.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So the
Okay.
carriage is stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's still a chance
Ashlyn,
for
you
cows.
You have like a hesitant face
Yep.
on.
We're splitting the party.
Don't
It's
worry.
okay.
I'm sure nothing monstrous, no malignant spirits, doppelgangers of yourself, will haunt and prey upon you in the pouring darkness and
Oh, I'm
rain.
sure they won't.
No, they will not. So, because it's pouring, it's very hard to see, and it's extremely muddy. Had you gone without the horses, you may not have made it, because it's just so muddy. But with the horses, you managed to make it to Berdusk, but you have wasted the whole day to get there.
Used the whole day.
Sorry,
is true. It was not
used the whole
wasted.
day. And your
Mhm.
horses are exhausted.
Yeah.
They need a good scrubbing.
Yeah.
Well, we come upon the main gate.
You come upon the main gate of Berdusk, and that's where we will end our session.
All right.
We still have a chance for cows.
There is a chance for
Celestine and
cows.
I are just like playing card games and swapping
Oh.
stories.
Hey everyone, this is Ander. Thank you all for listening to this episode of Power Word Crit. Stay tuned for more adventure on powerwordcrit.com or your favorite podcast streaming site. As we end this episode, please enjoy this little snippet from one of our characters. We're calling these PSs.
One evening, Usarker left his notebook next to the fire after finishing his watch. Celestine decides to take a peek. She sees him constantly writing in it and wonders what he's writing. She opens to a random page. Maps, strategies, tactical analysis. Wait, what's this?
Once there was a snowman. Tall, tall, tall. In the sun, he melted. Small, small, small. And this is because the snowman did not think to position himself in such a way as to avoid the sun.
Celestine places the book down. Maybe some things are best left undiscovered.
They charmed me!